Gary has brought you estrogen. He wants you to feel comfortable in your body. Say thank you to Gary. Gary has brought you testosterone. He wants you to feel comfortable in your body. Say thank you to Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Aw, cute little kitten is taking care of people and making sure that people have their correct hormone. Oh.
We need more Garys in our life.
Oh my god, we do need more Garys. It's not that fucking hard. Just to be Gary. Be Gary! Hey there, kids. How are y'all doing today? And welcome in for a new trans meme video. Well, that was kind of a new way of me doing that. I don't know what what possessed me. Anyways, hi, kids. How are y'all doing today? I hope you've been having a very lovely week. And as you can probably already tell, I have a guest with me today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi there. My name is Penelope. I also go by Penny. I'm the mastermind behind the handle Pennymations, where I basically make trans memes. I make trans comics. You can basically virtually find me anywhere on social media. I'm primarily active on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Tumblr. You can also find me on Webtoons at A Penny for Your Thoughts, which is, pretty ironic considering my name. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to be on here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on here. All right, memes?
Let's do it.
Memes. Ashes to caches. Early Gnostic theologian. Material existence is a form of torture thrusted upon humanity by the treacherous demiurge. The same with theologian, 11 months on estrogen. Well, maybe actually it's not so bad.
Okay, that one's pretty funny. I actually really like that one.
Oh my god. God, I feel this so deep in my soul. I'm not gonna lie. I was that emo kid in high school who would be writing, all this thought-provoking poetry and how it was like, it's so pointless to be alive and like humanity was just this horrible, terrible thing. And then I started estrogen. I was like, oh.
I mean, that was literally the same with me being on 11 months. I mean, like every single thought that I had like prior to me transitioning like was completely gone like by the eve of like my first year in HRT. It's crazy to think that like how like your head was like so noisy and everything, and then, like all of a sudden like it's just complete utter silence. Like it's crazy.
The peace. I had a pretty empty brain anyways. I felt pretty silent. Now I'm kind of like, I got a lot of thoughts, but it's just like a lot of like, oh my God, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. Women, right? All right, but women who could kill you with a giant sword. Me with my Final Fantasy character.
It's hot. Me showing up to the club in my slutty boy mode because fuck you. That's why.
But no, seriously, let men be slutty, all right? Let people be slutty in boy mode. It's okay, all right? Listen, live your best life, all right? Listen, free the nip. It's not like men's nipples have to be covered all the time. Let men wear assless chaps and thongs, okay? Out in public. Jeez, equality for everybody.
Yeah, really, equality for everyone. Like, you should have like the freedom to like express yourself in whatever way, especially even if you're, a femboy, for example, you can dress the way you want to. What society says, do what you need to do. Just dress the way you want.
Yeah, wear the dress. Put on the fucking dress. Put on the maid outfit.
Exactly.
Matriarch. Roommate's getting top surgery, and they put a tracking chip on him, and now I'm getting updates like he's a pizza. Admitted, 8/13/2025, 12 p.m. Preparing for surgery, 8/13/2025, 12:06 p.m. Waiting for being in surgery and then in recovery. Hashtag edit at TurtleChamp if you want to send your well wishes. Damn, this blowed up while you're all here. www.domino's.
So you're telling me this is an advertising campaign for Domino's Pizza?
No, I feel like this is just like, I want pizza now. Is top surgery kind of just like pizza? Or are we just like put into a little oven for us to then bake and cook? Like for trans men, is a top surgery cooking the tits off? Whereas like a trans woman, you're cooking the tits a little bit more. Is that what's happening here? Like you got to put us through two different kinds of ovens because you don't want to accidentally put somebody through the tits grow oven versus the tits shrink oven?
I suppose so. I mean, like, why in the back of my mind am I thinking of like the Noid, like a trans mask Noid? Like, what is wrong with me right now?
I mean, listen, some trans men like their boobs, and some trans women like their flat chest. You got to send them through whichever oven's going to properly cook them, so that way they can have the best chest that they want.
Absolutely, and regardless if you get surgery or not, I mean, everyone's valid. What the frick? Nobody is even noticing my makeup. Why was I so scared?
I feel like a lot of transition is fears that we ourselves have put out there. It's our own. In some cases, yes, there is a fear for safety, and I'm not here to belittle that. But I also want to say that, like, I feel like a lot of the time, a lot of the fears that we have about transition is mostly internal. And it's one of the things that some people might think that you're a little weird. I mean, like, oh, wow, that's a guy wearing makeup? Huh. And they'll just go on with their day. The vocal minority, the people who are going to be very loud about it and who are going to be like harassing you is so small and just on the internet that it's not really going to be a thing that you have to deal with, at least in my experience. I don't know if you can relate to that at all, Penny.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that as well, because especially when I was like really early in my transition and I was still at university, commuting the train to school, I was so beyond petrified that I would get verbally assaulted. I mean, it did happen like maybe 3 days before I medically transitioned, but like in the middle of February when I was like wearing makeup and experimenting a little bit, nobody really seemed to care. And I know it's a big thing with especially people who are really early into transition. I mean, it's okay to experiment with makeup, and it's not going to come out great in the beginning, but that's okay too. It certainly was like that for me. But honestly, like, everybody looks good in makeup. Let's be clear on that. Everybody looks good in makeup.
Yeah, listen, it's one of the things like I always kind of strike this. All of your favorite male characters, you know, Tom Hiddleston, one of the Chris's, whoever it may be, or Tom Holland. I'm naming all the Marvel characters, don't worry. Vin Diesel, whoever it may be, they all wear makeup, all right? They're all wearing foundation. They probably have some blush. They might have a little bit of eyeliner. It's fine. Like, the manliest men that you can think of wear makeup, period. That's kind of the thing. And it's just like, it's okay. Like, you can wear makeup too. You can do it too.
Make me into a woman.
I'd say this is probably my best work. God, it can really just be that easy sometimes of just having that friend who is extremely acceptive, and then there's like, accepting, and really accepting. And they just go, all right, come here. Also, Night Lady in a dress going out and fighting. Hell yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Listen, and my wife over here asked me, trust me, this is gonna all connect here in a second. My wife asked me if I were to be Pokemon Todd, so what would I be? I said I would be a poison fairy because I am a fairy is obvious, and then also poison because I heal people while also being a little toxic. And most importantly, I'm ineffective to steel types, which means that I am weak to women in armor. See, it came back around.
That's hilarious.
Trust the fox.
Like, it just reminds me, like, the first time I was like looking at the mirror and I was like so like euphoric just looking at myself, just like in a dress, and like how, you know, how pretty I looked. And like, it is like the most affirming thing that I think anyone can never go through. It's such an adorable comic. I love this comic so much.
Non-binary people, after the 3,435th time, are you AMAB or AFAB? What? What? Oh my god, just let non-binary people exist. Like,
Yeah, seriously, just let them exist.
I think they're AFAB.
Just let them exist.
Assigned threat at birth, alright?
Assigned threat at birth.
Yeah, it's either they're AFAB or they're... Hold on, what's the other one? It's...
Wait, what's the other one?
ACAB, assigned cryptid at birth. And listen, I feel bad for the people who are ACAB because also ACAB, all cops are bastards. But no, it's signed cryptid at birth. Like, there's got to be a better one for y'all. I'm so sorry. It can mean multiple things, but kind of just depends on who you are. You're an ACAB who's ACAB. A signed cryptid at birth who is against cops. Yeah, that's my wife. Scenario number 1. Help! I'm going to be crushed!
Oh my god, stop the trolley!
Scenario number 2. I don't think I should be crushed. Maybe, I don't know.
Jeez, I'd stop the trolley, but I don't know when to pick sides.
Oh well, too bad I can't help.
Guys, check this out.
Do not interfere. Divine judgment is here. God's plans. Completely empty, by the way. Defeat me. I hate people who still use Steven Crowder's change my mind memes. Like, I love it when people like change it. I'm more willing to take that rather than still promote Steven Crowder in some way.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, this is just what it's like. It's like when it comes to being trans and it's just like, hey, we're just here, we're just existing. And people are like, oh my God, what? No, you can't be. And it's like slowly the genocide has been like becoming worse and worse and worse. Because let's be honest here, it's been an ongoing thing since before the past 5 years, 10 years, before 2016. It's now become more prevalent nowadays.
I mean, especially in the latter half of this decade, it has gotten progressively more scary to be out there, especially when conservatives from left or right are just attacking people for just merely existing. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And listen, I know I've talked about good trans rep during the 70s and the 80s, but those handful of good reps of hey, they introduced a trans character to humanize trans people a little bit more was revolutionary at the time. It's very much the same of when we had on Star Trek, when we had a black character on. It's just one of the things of at the time, it was so fucking revolutionary. Not anybody's really ever heard of it. Nobody really felt comfortable. And, nowadays they're oh, well, yeah, that was totally fine back in the day. Not really, as trans women were constantly having to hide themselves because they were being killed and also having to still go into sex work because no other place would allow for them to be hired, or if they found out that somebody was trans, that they would fire them. Hey, by the way, did you know that on the cover of some of the hair dye especially for black women, was a trans woman, and she was on there for a hot minute until she got outed?
That is awful.
Yeah, fun fact. Wait, what's her name? I want to make sure I get her name correct. Yeah, it was Tracy Norman. She's hot. Black trans woman got outed by her hairdresser and then lost her actual income. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. The 80s were so totally fine for trans women. So were the 90s and before all of this happened. Anyways,
it's just exhausting to know the fact that there's still rampant transphobia out there, especially propagated by this current administration. And honestly, all I'm doing is just living and breathing the same air as everybody else, and I just want to live. That's essentially it.
Jesus Christ, I just want to make silly fun little videos and not have YouTube suppress them because it simply has the word trans in it because of the current administration. Waiting to see what pronoun your coworker uses when mentioning you to somebody else. All right, what are you going to say?
I have a ton of stories, especially in my beginning of my transition nearly 2 years ago. When I first started and, when I got my job and everything, I had to essentially just boil them up 24/7. And it made me incredibly uncomfortable. Even when I was dressing more androgynously at the time, I was really worried about what my coworkers would say to me, and they didn't know how to address me correctly. It was scary. It's very, very scary.
Yeah, it's one of the things that whenever my mom talks to me about how she's talked to some of my old classmates, and she always goes, yeah, so-and-so dead name, he now goes by Cat, and, he's now a woman. And I'm just Mom, regardless of when you're referring to me, because she would always be yeah, back when my boys, and I'm Mom, it's no longer boys, it's kids, because I have a brother. And I've had to explain to her, it's just listen, when you're referring to me to the past, it's still, I was a girl, she, her, my preferred name, Cat, and all this other stuff. That's how you have to refer to me. And she goes, oh. I'm yeah, I'm still the same person. It's just, I'm no longer living the lie anymore.
Yeah, it was like that for me too. It's more pressure towards me, especially since, fun fact, I'm an only child, so I don't have any siblings, just a ton of cousins. But even as an only child, and it was very difficult for me because when I came out nearly 2 years ago to my dad, he did not accept me one bit. He told me specifically, I love you very much, but you'll never be a woman in my eyes. And thankfully, a year and a half later, he came full circle. He now proudly accepts me as his daughter, and I could not be more grateful than that. I'm trans.
Which way, bro? Trans? Transformers? Listen, when you have that character who is a little dumb and hasn't figured everything else out, yeah, hey, at least they're excited. At least they're kind of excited and they're kind of okay with it. But also, I gotta say, I've been in this position before where I had a friend come out to me and she was just hey, Kat, I'm trans. And I'm just because I had no clue that she was trans. And I was just oh, that's nice. Wait. Are you transitioning to be a man or are you a trans woman? Which way are we going here? And she was just I'm a trans woman. I was oh, congrats. It's one of the things because I don't ever think about that. I never think about whether somebody is trans or not. But if somebody just goes, hey, Kat, I'm trans, I'm respectfully, which way? Respectfully. respectfully. I don't mean to be at all demeaning, but which way? Because I want to refer to you properly. And they're just like, I'm a trans woman. I'm like, okay. So nothing's gonna change. Like even if they were to be a trans guy, like, okay. That's easy for me to also pick up. So.
Like I've had that same exact scenario before, especially to like somebody like I didn't even know. Like they're like, I was like, Penny, so are you going male to female, or are you going female to male? And I was being honest, but like it's like one of those certain scenarios where you can't get angry at them. I mean, they're at least like kind of trying in a sense, but like it has to go to the point where you really have to be very patient with that, because like I appreciate the enthusiasm, but it can feel quite awkward at times, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it can. So he might be a little confused, but at least he's got the spirit. Oh, you're awake? Come here.
Okay, what's up? Need help with anything?
Wear this.
Huh?
You want your boobs to be visible, right?
Yeah.
Ready?
Just a sec.
Okay, I'm coming in. Oh, you put it a little wrong. I'll help you out. And this is basically how you do it.
What the just happened?
Oh my God, supportive mothers.
You gotta love the supportive moms.
You gotta love the supportive moms. But at the same time, like, this is how I feel sometimes of just being like, I'm sorry, what the fuck just happened? I'm all sorts of confused. Also, if it's early in the morning, I haven't had my coffee yet, I cannot think. There are no thoughts in my head. There's just me who is a thought. That's it. I am the thought.
It's really like special to know that like there's some parents out there that are incredibly supportive. I feel with like everybody that's, regardless of like what transition phase you are, if you're at a point now where like they accept you as like your niece or your daughter or granddaughter, like that is like the most like euphoric thing that a family member can do towards you. Like I have gone through that a couple of times myself, where my aunt has went her way to basically just, let me experiment with clothes, help me, buy dresses and stuff. And most recently, she bought my outfit for my current job, which is fantastic. And it's just so special to know that like there's like people like that out there. And it's very special.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
You'll never be a man.
Why, thank you.
Oh, we can always tell. Shut the fuck up. No, you cannot.
Yeah. Seriously, like, the funny thing was, like, that actually did happen back in March. I was on the phone with my girlfriend, well, now my fiance, so shout out Maxine. But the funny thing of what was happening was, I was in the deli counter waiting for my pound of pastrami, and like this like old shriveled MAGA dude in like a wheelchair just comes out of the woodwork, comes towards me, and just literally just delivers that line. He's like, "You'll never be a man," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you," and he just strolled away. And I was like, "Oh, did that just happen?" I was like, "Okay."
Okay, yeah, that's kind of the whole fucking point.
It is like so funny just like how scenarios like that happen. It's like, why is it that like trans folks like to insist that they always know, right?
It's because they're just, it's one of the things like they want to put fear into trans people so that way they can make it easier to tell who is trans and who's not trans, even though they never will be able to, because they're still gonna attack cis women, especially cis women who are Black. But it's one of the things of like, it's all about fear and also trying to like rule over a group of people so that way they can feel better about themselves and more powerful about themselves. And they're just sad. They're just sad little pieces of shit.
And honestly, like most people that are like that dehumanize like the most marginalized groups of people imaginable. Yeah, they're like the saddest like sacks of shit I've ever seen.
They honestly are. It's just like, God, mind your own fucking business and keep to your goddamn self. Jesus Christ.
Whoa. I don't think I can voice mode anymore.
Yeah, kind of real. I now have some assets, and I have some assets that are going to keep me from being able to voice mode a whole lot. So I'm just now muscle mommy cat.
I will say, like, this is probably like one of my most favorite comics I've made in the last like 2 years. After I made this comic in late June of last year, there was like more changes that just became so more just rapidly affirming, really. It was so great. Like ever since I made this comic nearly a year and a half ago, like there was like more like radical changes that like happened like to me. Like it was, of course I can't begin to tell you just like how much changes I had. Like my skin is incredibly soft. My boobs are really fucking big too. That was like the least of my expectations in the first 2 years being on HRT. Like that is, I love it. I love like the changes that came with estrogen and HRT, and like the fact that I know I'm going to be on this for the rest of my life it's the icing on the cake. I love it.
It honestly really is. And it's kind of really nice just to be able to finally like feel at home in my own skin and to feel comfortable with myself. It's just nice to be me for once.
Oh my God. I'm really her.
I think more oftentimes than not, a lot of trans people are going to look like one of their parents or like a relative. Maybe not your mom or dad, but maybe like aunt or uncle or grandparent more times than not. And I don't know, for some people, like it's euphoric in a way. And I think like I've had a couple people in my comments have said something along the lines of they look like their mom or dad, but the other gender. And they're like, and it drives them up the wall, and I fucking love it. I'm like, good for you. I'm so happy for you that you feel that way, because yeah, that's how I felt for the longest time. I was like, I was just my mom, but as a guy. And then turns out, no, I just look like my mom.
Like, I will also like to interject here quite a bit too, because like that is another change I did not expect, like being on, HRT for so long. Like my face has gradually became more softer, and my appearance has changed. Like I almost look like a carbon copy of my late mother, and sometimes it kind of freaks me out a little bit. Like I'm like like I'm getting at the age now where she had me 25 some odd years ago, and like it's crazy just how estrogen alone can like change your appearance like quickly, especially if you look like a carbon copy of my mother, which I practically do. And what inspired this comic too was the fact that I was getting a dress for my graduation party, and I decided to go to Kohl's because I had some coupons left over, and it was a large dress. I bought it for like I think $30. It was on sale, and I got home, I tried it on, and could not help myself but just run to the mirror and just like cry. Like I looked exactly like my mother, and that choked me up.
What's the matter, sweetie? Something up?
Yeah, I have a confession to make. I really feel that I'm a girl mom. I can't ignore this, but I'm still scared how Dad will react.
Well, I know you're not gonna like hearing this. I still love you with all my heart, but you need to keep this a secret from Dad. I know you're scared about this. Remember what I told you last year when you wore my dress?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're also scared for me starting this new chemo. Trust me, I'm scared too. But even when life gets hard, don't ever give up on yourself or who you're meant to be. You will always be my child. You will become someone that's beautiful, and you are in my eyes. Live life to the absolute fullest. Enjoy the small things in life while you still can. You're gonna do a lot of great things. I know it. All I wish for you is to be happy. I love you, Penny. 12 years later, 1970 to 2015.
As I mentioned a few times on this video, my late mother and I were incredibly close to each other. And all my mother ever wished for me was to be happy no matter what I did in life. Whether, I picked a certain career or just become the woman that I am today. I am so beyond grateful to have not only my actual family, but also my chosen family as well, to be very supportive about, my ambitions. And I know my late mother is so proud of just the sacrifices and everything that I've built for myself and the future that I'm about to make for the rest of my life. Like, I know my mother is here with me. I know she's proud of like her daughter of, being the creative kid and someone that can make a difference for others. And if there was like one strong quality and something that I would like to share too with my late mother, there was one quality that she instilled in me. It was the fact that she was the type of person that essentially helped others without them asking. And it never faded for me. I've learned over the years that like it is probably the most special quality a person can have is like, to help people regardless of like, their status as in life. And I'll give you another fun fact. I also do advocate for children on the autism spectrum. I used to play hockey, so I sometimes volunteer on a special needs hockey team. And it just makes me really happy to like just help people when they least expect it. And I know there's also people that are out there that are, grieving, who lost a loved one. And I just want to for the people who are watching this video, you're not alone. You mean something. And if any of you lost a parent, just know that they're still proud of you for making strides and sacrifices that you made.
This kind of reminds me of my aunt who passed away of cancer. That one kind of really hit me hard because she was my favorite aunt, and she died of breast cancer. And she'd always been really accepting of who I was. Always, like, I would go down to see her in Arkansas for summers and hang out with her and her husband, watched her kids grow up. And it's one of the things of like, she also died extremely young because she was 16 years older than I am. So she passed away at the age of 45, roughly. It's one of the things of like, the grief continues to go. Like, it's never gone. It's just like a button that's there, and the size of the button always continuously gets smaller. And there's like a ball going around in a room, hitting every single wall that it can. And every once in a while, that button just gets slammed as hard as it possibly can. But I remember whenever I came out to her, she didn't understand what being trans was at first until her daughter was just like, "Mom, she's now a woman. She's no longer a man." And she was like, "Oh, why didn't you just say it like that?" I was like, "God, that's what I've been trying to say this entire time. Thank you, cousin." And that was at my brother's wedding. And she, like, that was at the start of like her breast cancer battle. But the moment that I really find funny with her, and I think it's always best to remember people, like, to remember those who we love, to remember them for the good moments. And now one of my favorite moments with her is that when she was in the hospital on my birthday, which was the last time that I got to see her, she was on her bed and looked at me and pointed to my chest and said, "Are those real?" And I go, yeah, they're mine. They're actually mine. And they were smaller than they are now. And she just looked at me and she goes, "Can I touch them?" And I was like, sure. I walk over to her. She just grabs my left boob and goes, "Oh, that's real. That's a lot of weight to it, girl." And I'm like, "Thanks." And in her honor, my left tit is named after her because of that. My right tit has no name still, but it's fine. And yeah, the end of the story is basically before she passed, before I left, both her and her husband looked at me and told me how proud they were of where I was with me transitioning. I had just started making TikToks at the time, and my aunt looked at me and said that she was extremely proud of who my community was. So for all of you out there, just know, even if you're new to this community, you have someone who's proud of you at the very least. And I think that's kind of important for you to know, is just like the people who do pass that we loved and that loved you back are proud of you. And they're still going to be proud of you regardless, as Penny has said.
Like, no matter where you are in your transition, as Kat said, there is someone out there that is proud of you, regardless if they're your biological family or your found family. Like, every single person or some person or someone special is incredibly proud for being who you are. And that is a quality that should be cherished deep down in your heart.
All right. Well, that was the last one. So, Penny, I want to thank you so much for coming in on today to record some memes with me today and react to some trans memes and trans posts. I hope you had a lovely time. And, would you like to tell people where they can find you?
Oh, sure thing. So yeah, you can basically find me under the handle Pennymations. I'm primarily active on Instagram, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. You can also find me on Webtoon under A Penny for Your Thoughts. I also do have a YouTube channel, which I barely even use, but I kind of use it for my student films or other animated projects. And speaking of which, I do have an animated project that's lined up for a bit. It is my independent film called Glitch Girl. But yeah, thank you very much for having me on here. It was really fun.
Yeah, and thank you again so much for coming on. All right, and with that, I just want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons, all my YouTube members, and all my Twitch subscribers. Y'all have been absolutely amazing and fantastic, and I don't know what to say. Thank you so much for everything that you do, because I couldn't really do all of this without you all. So Thanks so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for leaving comments and likes, and dropping a follow over on Twitch, or coming and checking out what I'm streaming over on Twitch, which I go do. Come hang out with me, watch me be extremely gay on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And yeah, I don't know. It's one of these things of like, I don't know what to always say here, because it's just like, I feel like I say the same thing of like, you all help keep the lights on, y'all help keep things running here in the cafe and everything. And it's honestly true. I've struggled to try to find a job for the past 4 years. And the fact that I've been able to do this to help pad things out for a while and help my wife out a bit, it's been amazing. And I owe you all so much. So thanks. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What, do we have an entire state inside of us? Because we may have a Virginia. Oh my god. Do you have a whole Virginia inside of you? Do any of my fellow trans femmes have a whole Virginia inside of them? Mine's outside. I mean, that's fair, but like, do you not have a Virginia? Not yet? That's fine. Oh, we had to get our Virginias installed into us. That's so right. We gotta get the Commonwealth Virginia added into our bodies.